Hi, we've got a few minutes to share some things of interest here today on a 5-minute update from this week in Evansville. I'm Johnny Kincaid. Thanks for taking the time to join us. Be sure to like and share and subscribe, do all of those things to remind you not to miss an episode, but also so that we kind of come up in the rankings on YouTube and in all of the podcast programs out there. All right, so we're going to start off talking about the economy. You've seen the ads from Suzanne Crouch, the Axe the Tax theme.
Suzanne Crouch has the solution. Combine Indiana's massive budget surplus with less government and more efficient operations to end Indiana's income tax.
I even have a name for it, Axe the Tax.
Well, maybe that was a little bit premature, that ambition among Republicans to eliminate the state's individual income tax. Well, those spirits are getting dampened just a little bit because there's been a big drop in the state budget surplus. Revenues have slowed down coming into the state here in Indiana, and so we don't have the same kind of surplus available now, and so it's got some people second thinking that idea of doing away with the state income tax. Personally, I hope they don't second think it too much. I would much rather have the lower tax than to have a huge budget surplus. The State and Local Tax Revenue Task Force has met 4 times since August, and they are talking about Indiana's tax methods and hearing testimony on that. And they've made kind of an unusual move for a House-Senate study committee, and that is in holding a meeting during the legislative session. Coming up on January 10th, they will meet during the first week of the new legislative session. And talk about this whole thing of downturn and whether we continue to pursue eliminating the state of Indiana's income tax. Please eliminate the income tax. By the way, we're going to be asking the gubernatorial candidates about this when we have a chance to talk to them. That's going to be in April, just prior to the primaries. But want to know where they stand on this, because I know that Suzanne Crouch has been saying let's get rid of the income tax altogether, and at least one of the candidates has talked about reducing the state income tax to make it the lowest of any state that has an income tax, down at about 3%. But, it wouldn't lower the tax that much, not in such a significant amount that it would have an impact. So it's going to be really interesting to hear what their perspectives are on that. And unfortunately, we'll wait a little while to hear from them on them. Now, for the first time since June of 2020, we've got other bad news on the economic front, and that is Indiana's unemployment rate is now no longer lower than the national unemployment rate. Last month, actually in November, the state's unemployment rate climbed to 3.7%. That was up from 3.6% in October. And the increase is now the 7th consecutive month that the jobless rate has either ticked up or remained steady. And this is kind of surprising news in light of the fact that jobs have been so readily available all over Indiana, not only here, but across the country as well. But so to see that that is slowing down is not great news for the economy. And it has some people talking about the possibility of a recession setting in. And remember when Wolf's Barbecue was the go-to place for great barbecue here in Evansville? I mean, the ribs, the pulled pork, the chicken, all so good, served by the same family for almost 100 years, actually 97 years that they were in business. And they've now officially closed the doors, closed them at the end of December, and Wolf's is no more. Now, the family is hoping that maybe somebody will come along and buy the recipes and maybe even buy the Wolf's name and restart the Wolf's legacy all over again here in Evansville. That is yet to be seen, but this 100-year-old business is no more. And going into place now is going to be one of Newburgh's really popular eateries, a second location for Nellie's restaurant. I love going to Nellie's in Newburgh, and it's going to be nice to have them on Evansville's north side, even though it's going to be probably 10 years before the line dies down enough that you can actually go in and get a table there at Nellie's. Nellie's every day will look kind of like Wolf's did when they did their Father's Day buffets every year. So something that the people on the north side are already starting to buzz about is Nellie's restaurant coming to their neighborhood. And that is all the time we've got for today. Thank you very much for joining us. Be sure that you subscribe, like, comment, and join us again next time for This Week in Evansville.